In this video, we'll see about input and output characteristics of a transistor when it is connected in common emitter configuration. Here you see you can take a PNP transistor. PNP transistor, and terminals you see emitter and a base, collector, and for which terminal we have arrow mark, and that is emitter. And for PNP transistor, this arrow mark shows inside, which shows current is going into the transistor. Now we'll see about input, and here input, base and emitter combinedly we can call input. In input they connect a battery along with a rheostat. What is the use of rheostat means? By adjusting this resistance we can adjust the potential across the input, nothing but base and emitter. So here we are applying a potential VBB, but total potential is not get across this because here some resistance is there that also draws some potential, and remaining potential you get here across base and emitter. So whatever the potential between base and emitter is measured by the voltmeter V, that is VBE. Potential across base and emitter is VBE. And whatever the current flowing through the base, that is IB, that measures with an ammeter A here. See how current is flowing, and in PNP transistor current enter through the emitter into the transistor, and it will be split into two parts. One is IB and other is IC. It flows Kirchhoff's current law, and whatever the current enter, the sum of the current leave, both are equal. So IE is equal to IB plus IC. We already discussed about that in configurations. Here see IE is equal to IC plus IB, even it is base common base configuration or common emitter configuration. IE is equal to IC plus IB. And now about we'll see about output. Output is collector and emitter is output. Across this we are connecting a battery, that is VCC, and using a rheostat RH. By adjusting the resistance we can adjust the potential here, and whatever the potential generated here, that is across a collector and emitter, that you can measure with the potentiometer, that is voltmeter, that is VCE. And again there is ammeter which measures current flowing through IC, that is nothing but collector. So input voltage we know, input current, output voltage, output current, all we know. Using these meters we can measure that. And you see emitter is common for both. You see emitter is common for both, which is grounded here. Grounded means zero potential, you can take zero potential. Now you see input characteristics and output characteristics of a transistor, that is in common emitter configuration. These are input characteristics. And what about input? You see here, you see this is PNP transistor. P is connected to positive terminal of the battery and N is connected to negative terminal of the battery. That means this is in forward bias. So only if you consider only this part, that is only emitter and base, it looks like a diode which is connected in forward bias. Suppose here you see P region connected to positive and N region connected to negative. In forward bias, what are the characteristics of a junction diode? So it will be look like this only. These are the characteristics of a forward characteristics of a junction diode in forward bias. So initially very small current is flowing up to this potential is not crossing that barrier potential in forward bias. What happened up to, that means in silicon means you can take 0.7 volt is there. Up to 0.7 volt, this gives very small current. Once it crosses this barrier potential, then that what you call knee potential, once it crosses this position, then it gives a sharp current. That only here it shows that behaves like a diode forward bias. So these are the characteristics look like a forward bias diode characteristics only. Here you see like this. But here what they are doing means first they keep this output voltage 0, VCE is equal to 0 they keep first. Then they are increasing this VBE from 0 to certain value. They note that how current is changing, that we get a graph like this. You see the first graph, when potential is VCE, then the graph we are getting like this. Up to certain potential, zero current, and after that it gives huge current. Now again they make this potential to some value. Suppose 5 volt they took here, last time 0. Now they keep the 5 volt. Again keeping this voltage 5 volt, and this again they adjust from 0 to certain value. Then again they draw the curve. Then we are getting a curve like this, and here new potential we are getting after a huge value. When compared to the previous case, here new potential increases. Reason you see in common emitter configuration, if output voltage increases, that is reverse bias potential increases. Because of increase in reverse bias potential, what happen? This depletion layer width in emitter base collector base junction increases. Because of increase in depletion layer, what happen? It occupies some part of in base region. Actually base is very small in thickness. That will be occupied by this depletion layer. Due to that, this current, that input current, is not allowed through that. It is little difficult to pass through that. That's why we need to apply more potential to allow current. That's why up to some more potential. So here you get first case, here you get breakdown potential and new potential. Now we get some more. Suppose what happen if output voltage if increase more, last time first 0, 5, now if you are keeping 10, what happen? Now it become very difficult to send current through the diode. Even it is forward bias, it required more potential. That's why the need potential shifted like this. These are about input characteristics of a transistor. Now let's see about output characteristics of a transistor. And transistor which is in here you see, and output characteristics means the voltage which is VCE, this is output voltage, and current is IC, this is output current, what you say. Of course emitter current also there, but this is common for both channels. That's why we can't call output current or input current. Base current is input and collector current is output current, and voltage here VCE, this is output. We are drawing graph between VCE and current IC. Actually this is in reverse bias. You see that here, and P type connected to here negative. So P type connected to negative means this is in reverse bias. In reverse bias, very small amount of current is flowing. For example, you see in reverse bias circuit, for reverse bias, if diode is in reverse bias, what happens? Depletion layer width increases. You get very small current. Even potential increases more value, but very small current which is very close to this line. You see very small current is there, and that is increases all of a sudden at a particular potential called breakdown potential. Here they didn't observe the characteristics of this transistor beyond this breakdown potential, below the breakdown potential up to here only. That means very small negative current it flows. Here negative potential and negative current, that's why we take in the third quadrant. Suppose if you here in output characteristics in this transistor, they use in first quadrant only, even it is reverse characteristics. That's why you can reverse the graph like this. This is a reverse characteristics graph you make. You see it turn into first quadrant, and up to here you see the graph is look like this. A small rise is there and very small rise is there. That graph here it shows, you see, whenever potential here VCE increases, that output voltage increases, and current how it increases means a small rise is there, and you get a graph like this. And below this it is not possible. So to observe this graph, they are doing that. They keep that current in the base. First they took 0 amperes. By keeping input current constant, keeping here 0 amperes, they try to change output potential, that is VCE, from 0 to certain value. Then they start observing how IC is flowing. So in that case you get a first line, this one, when IB is equal to 0 and here current, a small current is flowing. Then after that what they are doing, this current they improve to 10 microamps. Whenever IB increases, IC and IE both increases. Why? Because in transistor configuration we discussed that here you see transistor configuration, IE is equal to IC plus IB. IB increases means definitely IC and IE also increases. Why? Because IE only divided into IC and IB. So IC is 98% of IE only. So IB increases, IC also increases. Input current increases, output current also increases. That only shown in the graph you see. See when IB is equal to 10 microamps and keeping this 10 microamps, they start increasing the potential from 0 to certain value. Then what happened? Current also increases from 0 to certain value. Then you get a second graph like this. Here like this we get. Again what they are doing, this input current increases to 20 microamps. Again they try to draw the output characteristics. What is output characteristics here? And you get more current we are getting. Whenever input current increases, output current also increases. And similar graphs we are getting like this with high currents. So in output characteristics, there are three regions. One is cutoff region, and other one active region, and third one saturated region. What is this cutoff region means? When both junctions, that is a emitter base junction, collector base junction, both are in reverse bias, you get a very small current, that is minute current is flowing. Where you get minute current means, you see that in common emitter configuration, if base current is 0, means IC and collector current also 0. Why? Because any emitter current is there, maybe a small amount or huge amount, that must be divided into two parts, that is IC and IB. Of course, IB is very less, but even though some small current also you should get here. That means IB is 0 means IE and IC also must be equal to 0 here. So IC also 0 here. But what happened? Because of reverse bias, small leakage current is flowing due to minority charge carriers recombined with electron and hole. Due to that, a small current is flowing. That's why we can't make IC 0, even IB is 0. Small current is flowing. That's why below this current or below this value we can't achieve. That's why they call this is a cutoff region. This happens when both junctions, that is emitter base junction, collector base junction, are in reverse bias. Both are reverse bias, then we can get cutoff region. Other one, saturated region. Saturated region means and in this region you can adjust this current, input current you can adjust, or output voltage you can adjust, but it is impossible to get a current in this region. That's what we call saturated region. Of course, we can get a value in this region when it is possible, means when both junctions, that is emitter base junction, collector base junction, are forward bias. So this saturated region, we can think like that both are in forward bias. We can say the transistor is in switch on position. Cutoff region means both are reverse bias, very small current is flowing. We can say transistor is in switch off position. And now about active region. Active region means here emitter base junction is forward bias, collector base junction and reverse bias. Always we are discussing about this condition only. This always forward, that are always reverse. In this situation, it is used as amplifier. What is amplifier? Suppose a weak signal is there. Weak signal, if you are sending through that will be improved huge signal. It will be increases signal strength. That's what you call amplifier. This common emitter configuration used as a amplifier. Why? Because you see that, and in case while we are discussing about working of a transistor, here if 100% is entering into the emitter and 2 to 5% comes out of the base, and remain 95 to 98% is going through the collector, then what you get here, amplification factor, that is current in output by current in input. That is here in common emitter configuration, what is output? Collector is output. And what is input? Base is input. So IC by IB, so you get a greater than 1. That already we discussed. In common emitter configuration, it is a better circuit to improve the strength of the signal. That is when it is possible, when this collector emitter base junction forward bias and collector base junction reverse bias. That what you call their active region. Okay. Now we'll see some important characteristics of transistor which is in common emitter configuration. First one is input resistance. What is input resistance means? Changing the potential input by changing current in input. Nothing but you see that here input characteristics, how we are getting. You see, and if it is a straight line, we can see that if you take a graph like this. This is potential and this is current. And if you take a graph like this, what is the slope of the line? If it is theta, so slope of the line m is equal to tan theta is equal to change in the potential by change in the current. What is potential by current? Potential by current nothing but resistance it shows. That means for this graph, if you draw at any particular point slope of the line, that slope represent a resistance value. But you see, this is not a straight line. That means what happened? Continuously slope is changing. Slope changes means resistance also changes. These semiconductor devices like a diode or any other, suppose you can see in diode also, the graph is not a straight line. That means here it has high resistance. When it comes here, current flows huge value. That means resistance decreases. So diodes and transistors are having that means a variable resistance, that what you call dynamic resistance. Depend upon situation. Suppose if output voltage is less or potential is less, it has high resistance. Potential is more, the resistance decreases. But Ohm's law is not that. What is Ohm's law? Current is proportional to potential. It can be any voltage, it can be any current. The resistance of the device, resistance of the conductor is constant. That is Ohm's law. But it doesn't follow Ohm's law. That's why these devices, either junction diodes or any diode, semiconductor diode, these transistors are non-ohmic devices. What is non-ohmic device? Which are not following Ohm's law. Of course, I is proportional to V only, but not getting straight line. But Ohm's law means you must get a straight line. Slope must be constant, but here slope continuously changing. That's why these are having a dynamic resistance. So to calculate resistance at any particular point, we use here, that is input resistance is equal to change in the input voltage by change in input current. What is input voltage and input current? You see that IB is input current, and what is input voltage? VBE is input voltage. So potential by current. But this value continuously changing whenever you change output potential. That's why they mention that keeping output potential constant, input potential by input current, VBE by IB, that gives input resistance. Change in input potential by change in input current, keeping output potential constant, that what you call input resistance. Similarly, and output resistance. What is output resistance? Change in output potential by change in output current, keeping input current constant, base current constant. You see that. What is output resistance? Output resistance is output voltage by output current, potential VCE by IC, keeping IB constant. When you are defining input resistance, output voltage keep constant. When you are defining input resistance, when you are defining output resistance, keeping input current constant. And next one, transconductance. What is transconductance means? It is the change in the current in output by change in the voltage in input. Output by input, not belongs to same side. You see, output current by input voltage. This what you call transconductance. Why they use the term trans? Because we are calculating after transferring. So that's why trans. Why they call conductance? They don't want potential by current. They want current by potential. That's why we call conductance. Current by potential. What do you get? Conductance we get. Conductance represented with G. So this is transconductance. That's why GT is equal to delta IC by delta VBE. This is transconductance. And what is current gain? What is current gain in any circuit? Output current by input current. What is output current in this circuit? What is output current here? IC is the output, IB is the input. So what you can say, that current gain they represent with beta in common emitter configuration. That already we discussed. You see that in common base configuration alpha, output by input, their output is collector current, input is emitter. So like this you can take. And here common emitter configuration, output is collector current, input is base current. So IC by IB. So that only we can take here. IC by IB is the current gain but DC. That means DC means what happened? Output current, input current, both are constant. Of course IC is more but constant value. Suppose what happened, instead of a DC battery here, if you connect an AC which is continuously changing, then what happened? IB also changes simultaneously, IC also changes. So in that case, how to calculate current gain? How many times current increases, which is not fixed here. In that case, what you can take? The current gain is equal to delta IC by delta IB, change in output current by change in input current. Similarly for common base configuration also, for common base configuration here, for common base configuration, change in output current delta IC by delta IE we can take. Suppose if they want a DC amplification factor, just IC by IE. AC means continuously changing, that's why delta IC by delta IE we can take. That is about common base configuration. This is about common emitter configuration. Of course, beta is greater than alpha and it is greater than 1 and that is less than 1. So here beta DC, beta AC, IC by IB, delta IC by delta IB. Similarly here alpha DC, IC by IE and alpha AC, that is delta IC by delta IE. Now we'll see what is the relation between alpha and beta. It may be any circuit, maybe common emitter or common collector or common base. This formula must be followed. Change in emitter current is equal to change in collector current plus change in base current. Why? Because you see that in any type of configuration, IE is equal to IC plus IB, and that is common base configuration, and common emitter configuration also, IE is equal to IC plus IB. So we can write delta IE is equal to delta IC plus delta IB, and both sides divided with delta IC. So delta IE by delta IC is equal to delta IC by delta IC 1, delta IB by delta IC. And you know, this is delta IC by IB is, you see, delta IC by IB is beta. This is 1 by beta. This is 1 by alpha. 1 by alpha. So that you can write the relation between alpha and beta is 1 by alpha is equal to 1 plus 1 by beta. Beta is current gain in common emitter. Alpha is current gain in common base configuration. So we get a relation like this. Beta is equal to alpha by 1 minus alpha you get. Now we'll see how to calculate power gain. Power gain, that is amplification of voltage. AV means amplification of voltage. What is amplification? How many times potential increases here. There, what is current gain? How many times current increases. That is alpha and beta are current gains. And here voltage gain. Here we are talking about voltage gain, that is what is the definition of voltage gain? Output voltage by input voltage. How to write output voltage? Change in output current into output resistance. Output resistance they call as load resistance by change in input current into input resistance. This already we know delta IC by IB is beta only. Delta IC by IB is beta only. That we can write here. So beta RL by RI gives voltage gain. AV means amplification of voltage or voltage gain. Beta into RL by RI. Now we'll say about power gain. What is power gain? Output power by input power. How can you write power? Potential into current. Power is equal to VI. So here V output by V input into I output by I input. Nothing but change in collector current by change in base current. We already calculated what is V out by V in. That is delta IC into RL by delta IB into RL. So delta IC, IB and repeated here. That's why we get whole square here. So this is nothing but beta square RL by RI. So power amplification factor is here in place of this you can write beta RL by RI into, again this is beta. So beta square RL by RI we get. So here different parameters we discuss, that is about input resistance, input voltage by input current, keeping output voltage constant, output resistance, output voltage by output current, keeping input current constant, transconductance, output current by input voltage. And after that, current amplification factor, common emitter configuration, common base configuration, relation between them, voltage gain and power gain.